through the common right. Then the stars above begin to shimmer with their strange light. Through the common right. Then the stars above begin to shimmer with their strange light. The star of Islak. Our adversaries worships it, and whomever it represents. Fixate upon the star-eaten one, if thou so darest invoke its power. Do so, and our adversary Udmilda shall be emboldened, but also left vulnerable to our own sorceries. We may yet limit her ambitions thus. Bertrand asks you to invoke the Star of Eastlock in this rite. Yeah, no, what happened was it was playing on my phone. I think I'm able to turn it off. I think it should be gone now.
A glorious eve to you as ever, O you exiles of the Nightwings. The 8 scribes dragged you all the way into the blasphemous Isle of Kaelna. Here you are to be surrounded by even more gibbering nitwits than usual. The adversaries you are to confront shall be the Withdrawn, whose ever fire yet burns ere the break of dawn shall surge forward on the path to glory. Now prepare yourselves.
What have we here? Ye have returned once more unto our presence. Yes, we sense something among ye. Who? Bertrude slithers forth and gazes at her adversary. Thou maggot, we should have known. But Bertrude does not respond. Ye Nightwings, the ones shall be of little benefit to ye. The one's sorceries are a mere pittance to the overwhelming might of Islak. Soon ye shall see. Greeting one, thou invokest the star of Islak, so then beware. Though our sorceries shall Udmilda be cast to hopeless doubt about her faith upon her god. It shall be done if we prevail, but only if. Our own mind shall perhaps be forfeit otherwise. It seems that through the outcome of this rite, either Udmilda shall be permanently weakened, or Bertrude shall instead. Alright, so we gotta have the speed team.
Forthwith.
So let's put Gilman forward. We're gonna have to win more games, but I think with our speed, that shouldn't be no problem.
Tizo, it is done.
Hakri! Tizo urges you all to face Udmilda without fear. Now then, Nightwings. Ye wish to mock Islak? Ye in your infinite foolishness shall be amongst the first to suffer. Alright, Gilman, don't let me down.
Commence. The Nightwings thus assert themselves. The orb has left your clutch. The orb is up. Resplendent. Too bad. Udmilda plunges into flame.
Yikes!
Yes. has died a little. Deliverance!
The imps grow more and more agitated with each passing moment. Some start spilling onto the sacred grounds. Foolish imps, untamed, stay back. Ye spawned from me slack, ye learn his patience.
What are those blasted creatures doing? This is a sacred tradition, not some boorish spectacle.
Oh no!
And it is done. The withdrawn prevail. A perfectly agreeable performance overall. The rite is ended.
Fools. Especially thee, maggot, especially thee. Ah, to deign to think that thou couldst staunch the power of Islak. Utter madness. Bertrude remained silent in all this. What have we done? What have we done? The dying god impinges on my mind. Begone with thee, begone with thee, begone! Bertrude retreats into darkness. You sense something happened to her after withdrawn prevailed in this rite. Yes, suffer. But thou shouldst carry always with thee thy black soul of Islak. Remember it ere thee does ever step thy bounds again.
What stirs now in the hearts of all these exiles? Until the stars align.
Alright, bye Kelsey. After you and your fellow exiles fell to the withdrawal, you find the lone minstrel tending to one of your own. Tiso seems to be unwell, though you cannot sense why. How are you feeling, sir? Tiso feels very fatigued and lethargic. Oh no, he has banishment sickness. I see. Then please do not exert yourself, or try. The lone minstrel motions for you to come closer. Reader. Tiso appears rather disoriented and more fatigued than usual. Reported feeling not entirely present, symptoms of banishment sickness. He should soon be able to take part in the light activities, I think, but under no circumstance shall he be able to conduct the coming rite. Now then, I ought not to keep you from the stars above. Please go and have a look at them, for all of us, I think, are anxious to depart this place. The stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. I wish it would just... This mode is hard, man. I kind of want to do somebody who I know I can beat. So yeah, let's do these guys. These losers. These stupid worms. Is this night to understand that we shall soon confront our deluge in the firehouse once more? Then this is to be a most exciting time. This night's one-time commanding officer, imagine, if you will, a worm without the slightest trace of bravery. Sir Gilman then recants his tales of Sir Deluge's past and how it is they wound up together at the downside. Sir Deluge, a worm knight of the Sea Dominion and former ally of Sir Gilman. He lacks the sort of courage for which his kind is known, yet somehow leads the pirate hearts anyway. Some worms born under the Sea Dominion's waters sought life's meaning on dry land. The Commonwealth recognized their chivalrous traditions and soon put them to use. Sir Deluge was just another bit of frontline fodder in the war against high-wing remnants. Yet time and time he distinguished himself for one simple reason. He would not die. His unusual instinct for self-preservation kept him alone in many battles, and over time he was repeatedly promoted for lack of any real competition. Then, in the Battle of the Spiral Sactum, when retreat certainly was not an option, Sir Deluge retreated anyway. this was a breaking point, and he at last was sentenced into exile. In the downside, he sought water, where he made contact with Sir Gilman and other members of his kind. They all saluted him as their superior. The other knights had little choice but to respect his rank. As the Pyrohearts, they conducted the rites in the name of their great hero, the Under King Horus, while adhering to their strict code. This knight might have failed quite so miserably at the Battle of the Spiral Sanctum had his entire regiment not turned in disarray after Saint Deluge fled. Perhaps by confronting him, his former commander, this knight's own honor may be regained in part. For now, however, this knight must beg your leave. You say goodnight to Sir Gilman, in turn. There is no time to make flight preparations now, though in the morning you will press on once again. Buddy. You find Tizo there in the black wagon, looking rather more despondent than usual. When you attempt to reach out to him, he barely acknowledges you. Tizo indicates that he wishes to be left alone right now. You almost run into Faye as you turn to leave. Oh, I'm sorry, mister. I was just wanted to come check on little Tizo there. I think maybe he's taken ill or something. On further inspection, it occurs to you that Faye perhaps is not off the mark, and that Tizo is unwell for some reason. Come on, Tizo, you're gonna be alright. You might be the smallest one of us, but I think you're the toughest. Though, Mr. O'Dariel, I think she's very tough as well. Tizo appreciates the cat's word, but still wishes to be left alone at this time. Oh, don't be silly, Tizo. You know I won't be doing that, don't you? Faye turns to you for a moment, lowering her voice. Mister? I think Tizo would like a little bit of privacy if you don't mind, though I don't mean to be rude. It's just Tizo, well, I told him not to eat something. There was this, well, I think it was a mushroom maybe, growing in the corner over there. So I see Tizo sniffing at it, and he's always hungry, and usually I try to feed him, but this time I told him no. Because I know my mushrooms, and whatever that was, I think it was a mushroom, but it wasn't one I knew. Well, Tizo ate it anyway. Tizo corroborates Faye's recollection of what happened. So, anyway, I think that he is maybe, cough it up, I guess. I think maybe at any moment now. Because when I ate things that I thought were mushrooms around here, I coughed them up as well. They made me rather sick, kind of like Tizo over there. I hope I'm not being inappropriate, because it's not polite, maybe? Oh, come to think of it, Tizo, why don't we go outside? Because then I won't have to clean up after you, like the last time when you ate something I said maybe you shouldn't, remember? Tizo indicates he remembers full well and regrets not heeding Faye's food-related counsel. Oh, don't worry, silly. If you've taken ill, then I think you're going to be just fine. Once you have a little walk outside with me, because you're very tough. Tizo's beginning to look better already. You're my best friend, Tizo. I won't let anything bad happen to you, or at least, I'll try, okay? I don't think anyone can stop you from eating things, though. Then she snatches Tizo up in her arms and whisks him out of the wagon with her. You hear her call back to you over her shoulder. Bye, mister. I'll make sure that Tizo is alright, I promise, okay? Although the prospect of Faye administering medical assistance normally would give you pause, Tizo seemed to accompany her willingly enough. The two have shared a rather close bond since Faye first made contact with the group. For someone like her who has lived alone for so long, this friendship must be vital. And as for Tizo, he must be impressed that a non-native of the downside seemed to know her way around food safety even better than he. Alright, yeah, no, I have to meet Sir Deluge. I have to. For both Sir Gilman's honor and for my own. The gloom hangs thick above the pit of Maleath and all around. You are brave to seek your adversary's hair again, reader. Many of the downside believe it to be nothing more than a foul den, and take the tales of Eastlock Astralborn to be mythology embellished through retelling over time. You have met others, such as the Witch of Mildew, who would believe otherwise, though, whichever their beliefs, I know of none who would go near the place unless the stars demanded it. Thus shall your right against the Pyrohearts take place in complete secrecy, as always the rights have. You arrive again in the field of flagon hands, already anticipating the stinking feeling that comes with this place. This time, Bertrude has something to say for it. We shall show ye how to withstand the less pleasant qualities of this locale. She reveals various salves and minor enchantments that help to counteract the spirit drain and effects of the region. Soon everyone here is feeling better, if but for the assurances. Woo! Thanks be to Bertrude! You called for me, lovely reader? Very well, Let's consider who among those idiots is worth my limitless time. You have decided to administer one of our special trials for Bertrude. The old bog crone, then. She does have some potential, I should think. More so than most of those who you share that little residence. Then, let us bring her forth. Soon Bertrude appears in heat of the summons. We sense that thou hast need of us. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, crone. You answer to me here. How very eloquent. May your vast experience exceed your knack for pleasant conversation. I trust that you shall have little trouble here without the benefit of your more communicative friends. Now come. Tiny boys! That did not go according to plan. I don't remember it being this bad with Bertrude, but clearly... Technically it's not cheating, I was going to lose anyway. I was just speeding up the process of starting over. I get to restart these rights all the time. I mean, there really is no benefit to just letting it happen if I know I'm going to lose. Losing gives an interesting narrative path when there's a narrative. There is no narrative here, is what I'm saying. There's no benefit to losing, except for the fact that it now takes up time. I couldn't restart every match. The only matches I can restart are the sacred rites. The actual rites and whatnot, I am not able to restart. Yeah, that's one of the things about true Nightwing mode. I am actually not able to restart anything. So, I can only restart these because there's no... Because I have the option to restart them anyway. Not really, it's just streamlining, really. I was there! This game is who's cheating. Noxtalas! A simple test undeserved to be called a challenge. To fail you just for gloating, crone. But these are not my rules, and your performance is sufficient. Thus you have passed my test. Congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now, farewell. Yeah, no, I know I'm not very good at it. I completely suck at true Nightwing mode. But the game totally cheats too. Good riddance to that mouthy wraith. Show us then what trinkets she bestoweth upon us. It is totally cheating when the game does it. What? How would the game cheat it? How would the game cheat it and make it so it's not cheating? Little Imtizo seems has a keen sense for things. Now takes you deep, far into the fetish halls of Plaguemon. Keeping up with him proves difficult at times. All of a sudden, he begins to hop and screech. Tizo wants you to help him dig up something right under his feet. You begin to dig in the vicinity and soon uncover something long since buried. Perhaps for someone such as you to find. No. See, the game isn't allowing it. The game is who's doing it. I'm not allowed to do it, which is why it's cheating. Because the game is providing rules that the NPCs have to follow, that I have to follow, but the NPCs don't, that's why it's cheating. You approach Bertrude just as she has finished polishing the various bottles, flasks, and valves that your fellow exiles have collected during your travels through the downside. The evidence of thy travels. How brazenly ye put them on display. Ye tempt these lands to swallow ye. She lets out a long breath. Nonetheless, these trinkets stir our memories, not merely of these lands, but of the country whence we came. Sure, the bad guys should never follow the rules, and fine. But when you're playing a game of a sports game especially, they should be following the rules or they should suffer a penalty. No, read in one that we are here because of Sandalwood. In basketball, if someone pushes you to the ground, you get a foul, because that's against the rules, and they now have to suffer a penalty. We meet him long ago within the southern bogs. He offered many courtesies, and in exchange we found agreeable. We sought then certain regions, necessary to our studies of the heaven and earth, and he knew where to procure them. In exchange, we were to boil for him our finest inks, certain recipe notorious yet secret. Its stain could never be removed. Oh, but the Commonwealth misliked it. It was when we first began collecting samples of the regions of the downside, for Sandalwood was ever true to his word. Long had we studied this accursed place, Black Basin, the chaos of the deathless tempest, the richest of the bogs of flagon hands, land so far away, and yet they called to us. Molten Melitha was able to traverse the downside in its entirety an age ago, and surely 'twas not beyond reckoning that we could do the same. Furthermore, but she hesitates. It matters not, Reading One. Thou hast indulged our tales long enough for a while. She slithers away without further explanation. She seems reluctant to discuss the circumstances of her past with Wilfred, yet you sense that she is here by choice. Alright. Let's go beat Sir Deluge, and then we'll take a break. I may take a break from Pyre for a while. I don't know, I think I'm starting to get some fatigue from playing it. So I may play some Bastion tomorrow. Have some fun there. Oh, hey guys, what brings you here again? Let me guess. Finest details and all the downside. That's what, am I right? I don't really have any need for this, to be completely honest. Appreciate you doing business, and you guys be sure to tell your friends, okay? As you await the stars, the form dressed in the raiments of the rites approaches you and Wilfred. You at first presume it from one of your adversaries, the Pyre Hearts. No! No! I'm not ready for this! But he cannot be one of them. Besides you, Wilfred starts, something you have never seen him do. You observe the colors he wears, an inverse of the Nightwings. Wilfred Sandalwood. It has been a while. No, this cannot be. The demon unfastens his mask. It can. You perished. I watched you fall. You did. I grieved for years, yet now you live. I do. Although these horns, they grew long ere I could walk again. Unbelievable. Why are you here now, Orlek? You know full well, Wilfred, to claim what is mine by right. Demon Orlek leaves without another word, just as the stars above burst to life and seem to set the sky aflame. Oh no! I definitely don't want Eastlock on for this one. Ew! Ew! Let's use Unfathomed Plurnus. Plurnus. Unfathomed Plurnus. Ew! I thought you said Wilfred wasn't capable of feeling anything, because he doesn't count because he's a tree. What happened to that, Corey?
'Twould appear the Nightwings are to stand against themselves this time around.
I wanted to beat Sir Deluge so I could feel good about myself. Now I'm gonna lose to Orlek?
Whom you face? Orlek. Long ago he had his chance, and he relinquished it. He cannot simply claim it now. I cannot preside over this nonsense. Good night.
Okay. Let's stretch a bit. Oh, okay. Get limber, ready to go. What happened to the Pyre Hearts? The stars showed we were to face them. They must have suffered a misfortune of some sort. Tampering with the stars' design is not permitted, Orlek. Cheating the worthy of their rightful liberty is not permitted either, Wilfred. You must know I took no part in that betrayal. Search your heart. Orlek says nothing for a time, then... Where are your raiments, Wilfred? I refuse to wear them since, in show of solidarity to you, and to elude the voice, I would suppose. Yes, that too. I see. You were never very good at this anyway. We shall see if this lot of yours is any better. You cannot be serious. What sense is there in us standing against each other? But Orlick puts on his mask and stands ready. I shall crush this lot of yours, Wolfred. You shall see that I am not so easily discarded, and you shall not deny me my liberty again. Reader, the adversary whom we face, Orlick, is not one to back down. He was experienced in the rites, even at the time, and so beware. There was no one in his day who could prevail against him, and he appears even stronger now. I wish I had more valuable advice to give. This, I wish I had foreseen this. Alright, let's put on Team Need for Speed. Actually, let's have Hedwig up front. Let's put out Gilman. And let's put out Rookie. Don't know who this Orlick Bozo thinks he is, and come to think of it, I don't care either. Such a triumvirate you have assembled, Wolfred. But let us see what they can do. Come and face me, false Nightwings. What? What? No, so close! You must be the one who pulled for a Sandal who chose to replace me. No, look, I don't know who you are, but Wolfred hasn't done anything like that. That isn't why I'm here. Nonsense. Do not lie to me. When first I learned the Nightwings had reformed, with some forgotten boy now at the helm, this I needed to see for myself. And here we have it then. Sounds like you've got me figured out. Disappointing that Wolfred would take sides with someone such as this. I didn't even have a chance to do anything. What was that? As expected, you call yourself the Nightwings, but you are they only in name. As for the rites, it is a mockery of what it once stood for. All of this, a stain upon the legacy of the scribes. Fulford looks on as Oralek departs without another word. Oralek, forgive me. Yeah, so what I was saying was, see, like, look there. Low checkpoint unavailable. At true Nightwing difficulty, you are committed to your choices and cannot turn back. So the only ones I can really change on are the Beholder tests, Beholder rights, because it generally doesn't matter if I lose there. All it does is save me a bit of time. Oralek, he has changed. Scarce resembles now the one with whom we traveled then. I am afraid so. I can only begin to imagine what he has been through all these years. Reader, as you can see, Oralek and I, we have some years in common. Story for another day. I need some time to look at how all this affects our plan. The problem isn't that practice. The problem is just that my reflexes are not fast enough. They move faster than I can react. Reader, sir, Oralek is a principled person. His freedom was denied him just when it was in his grasp, a doleful tale. Fulford shall tell you more of him in due time, of that I have no doubt. For now it seems the stars beseech you once again outside. There, deep in the infinite dark, once more you see a single star shine brighter than the rest. Alright, I take it back. Let's do a liberation ride. Maybe somebody will go free this time. Maybe if I'm lucky it'll be somebody easy. Let's see, is it Sir Deluge? Please be Sir Deluge. Oh, no. It's the Withdrawn. Yay. So, let's go up to Solium. Let's do that right. And, hopefully I'll be able to set someone free. If not, well, I tried. Once more then, to the fall of Solium. Excellent. Our plans yet proceeds at pace. We need but continue to make good on all the such opportunities the stars present, so much as possible. That our ranks within the Commonwealth may yet grow strong enough that we shall sway something. It shall be difficult, but the people have their hearts and consciences, and the Commonwealth has long since lost its way. The never-ending wars with the High-Wing remnants, the passing of more sentences of exiles than ever before, for increasingly more dubious causes. The burning of books, the outlawing of literacy, they are corruptions of the teachings of the scribes. Together we shall prove it soon enough. Fulford, sir, what of Oralek? Fulford says nothing in response at first, but then Oralek appears to have his own agenda now. We shall have to try and keep an eye on him, although our plan remains the same. Anyway, we have a mountain with which we need to climb. Let us all rally us up a bit, if possible, this night. We fly at break of dawn. Oh, buddy. Tito seems despondent following the confrontation with Oralek. Aww. Tito is filled with mixed emotions to have seen Oralek again. Like Fulford, he thought for sure that Oralek had perished long ago. Tito is angry that Oralek acted so unfriendly with everyone. Then the little imp looks at you with sadness in his eye, but says no more. He skitters up to the rafters. Alright, so one more right. We'll take a break then. And then I'll play some Bastion tomorrow. You land amid the fading glory of Mount Elodial, at whose summit awaits the liberation rite. Thus begins our third ascent to the fall of Solium. My agents in the Commonwealth report our plan has proceeded. Let us strive again to liberate one of our own and raise its chances. With some time to spare after having landed, you join Bertrude on a brief expedition to the monument of Solium Mur. We do not fear thee. We do not worship thee. We seek to understand thee. We accept thy power and thy gift, for through our actions we extend thy influence. Soon you and she are finished paying your respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Solium Mur has shown you favor. You shall soon begin your ascent, though there is time as yet to pursue your vocations. You notice Bertrude is studying the Beyonder Crystal. She sets it down as you approach. The mouthy wraith rebuketh our attempt to summon her. She insisteth that we are too young to understand. She must be referring to Sandra. It seems that Bertrude may be able to invoke her. Stop with that one. Possessing of an ancient understanding. Olden ways and olden times. Many centuries of history. Knowledge of the aged scribes themselves held captive there, with that green tint stone within that wraith's own memories. But we could extract them in some way. Perhaps thou could induce the wraith's obedience, reading one. For she heedeth not. She claimeth obligations unto only thee. Although, She stops and thinks carefully. The Beyonder Crystal is not to be tampered with. Fellow exiles know that its use is at your sole discretion. She backs away from you, still thinking to herself. Ignores the regrets about this, reading one. Our reason has taken us elsewhere. Her refusal to cooperate is likely to be an ancient warning of some sort. It's possible that others of the southern bogs knew something of her, but we shall not be tampering further with such sorceries ourselves. That the wraith refuseth to cooperate suggesteth her predicament is suitably deserved. She heads out in a huff, but just as the air grows still and quiet, you sense something from the Beyonder Crystal. Mouthy race, she says. Can you believe it, reader? To be so young and foolish again. Sandra the Unseen laughs to herself. Her proximity to the Beyonder Crystal might have been sufficient to invoke her in this case. That crone of yours is far too curious, I think. But it appears that even she has learned her lesson in this case. Thank the stars I am beholden to no more than one among you Nightwings at a time. Thank the stars it happens to be you rather than her. And if that crone attempts to lay her fingers on my Beyonder Crystal again, I shall just have to torment her dreams till she's my age. Do feel free to mention that if it comes up. Now farewell. You know where to find me, lovely reader. She vanishes. It seems that Sandra proved resistant to Bertrude's tampering. So much history is trapped within the Beyonder Crystal. There it shall remain for the foreseeable future. You and Bertrude discuss the meaning of the rites, developing a deeper sense of understanding in this contest, created to determine the worthy from among all those pitted against each other. The height of sorcerer's power formed the basis of the rites. Our predecessors gained such knowledge throughout these travels. While traversing the ancient formations on the way to the summit, you pass a monument to the molten Melitha, and Jodariel happens to take notice. I wonder wonder if you scribes are listening at all, much less to one such as I. Never held much faith in any of you. Perhaps I ought to have been more open-minded. I am not here to seek of you or favor them, but to apologize, for I was certain your time long since passed and I was wrong. Soon you and she are finished paying your respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Moat and Melitha has shown you favor. You and your companions arrive again at Scribe's Gate before an archway carved of stone. Shall we, reader? Mitchell leads you towards a counterpart who seems unsurprised to see you all approach. The exalted the Nightwings, and you again, Tariq. Greetings, Celeste. Aye, we have returned. Stars shine darkly these past nights. Nothing more than a portent of your arrival, is it? Likely nothing more. Now, they are ready for you. Come forth, each of you. In turn, please state your name and what it is you seek while crossing Scribe's Gate. Wait. You. She points to Bertram. You are new amongst the group. You shall go first. Please do as she asks, Bertram, madame. We are known throughout the downside as Big Bertrude. We follow Sandalwood, for we are fond of him. He led us into exile, and shall lead us out. The gate guardian acknowledged her, and motions for the rest of you to proceed. Everyone does so, before, including you. Once you all have declared yourselves, she regards you all for another moment and beckons towards the mountain's top. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Thank you, Celeste. Until the summit, Tariq.
Hey, welcome back, you guys. You know, I guess it's a pretty decent spot for business all of a sudden. Because it was really bad up here, you know. I just be here, just waiting. Sometimes it gets real cold, like I was telling you before, and stuff like that. So anyway, you buying anything or what? Tell all your friends about us, because I already told mine.
As you reach the fall of Solium, where one among you can go free, provided you prevail against withdrawn in the liberation rites. Reader, you would ask a moment of your time. We have to talk. As darkness falls, the minstrel and Volford pull you aside. We have some news that is dependent on how you look at it, potentially or fortunate. The lone minstrel directs your attention towards the dark sky. The stars are fading. It is true. With the advent of the Titan stars, visibly fewer stars seem to be shining than once you saw in the sky above. Yes, the stars themselves are vanishing. Why? I do not yet understand. But what it indicates is this. The rites are drawing to an inexorable end. The light of the stars, without it, the rites would be unable to commence. Anyway, that is the bad news. The good news is there are a lot of stars to go. How many liberation rites remain, I do not as yet know. The arithmetic is complicated. An estimation of the number of stars, at the rate they fade, the accelerating rate at which we are being summoned here. Anyway, I'll work it out as soon as possible. For now, I felt that you should be aware. We can inform the others in due time. At the moment, though, you have this right to think about, and so do you. Look forth. As the stars above begin to shine, Volfred's words begin to sink in. It seems you have a limited number of chances remaining to liberate your companions, including this one now.
Alright, let's go.
Congratulations, Frida. It would appear the rites are drawing to a close. Doubtless the doing of that Orlek in all his bitter spite. For now, your exiles have another chance at freedom here upon the fall of Solium. So too do your adversaries, the Withdrawn. They fought so very bravely for this moment. Whichever side prevails soon shall send one of its own into the warm embrace of civilization.
Fires burn, and each of the Churmbraids is present and prepared. I concur. Fires burn, and each of the Churmbraids is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the Withdrawn, come forth now and declare yourself and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Bogdwiller with Milder appears from the shadows and reaches for her mask. Yes, we are known to be Witched Mild. Our adversaries, they are nothing to us, only the ones we serve. Ye shall be devoured in the coming age, an age of strife, brought down by the fell wings and many sea knights of Eastlock the Astral Born. Speak blasphemy upon this sacred site of Milda. If you value your liberty, then I suggest you seek some walking of the scribes. The scribes, they fail to stop Eastlock. He shall rise again. As for ye Nightwings, ye have no consequence in Eastlock's grand desire. She dons her mask once more. Soon we shall return into the land which Eastlock shall usurp, where we shall offer him our blood and that of many, many others. As for you, Nightwings, you bring darkness with you. What have you brought upon the stars? Celeste, please. We do not know what is amiss here. Nightwings have come only to see that the liberation is carried out. Indeed. Then make your choice, Nightwings. Who among you is to be anointed here?
Who shall return to glory?
These are my choices. I'm going to choose Hedwig.
Edwin.
Let's give Hedwig another shot. Another chance at freedom.
Who shall strive for him?
Let's put Joe Dariel in.
Dariel.
Let's just achieve a better outcome this time. And, I think Pamitha may be most useful. Glad we're giving him another shot.
Very well.
Soon, Slack, very soon we shall release thee. We shall release thee, and as for ye, Nightwings, we have much in store for you.
Commence.
Isak, we invoke thee. We seek the aid strength. Behold our enemies within thy blood. Damnation to the Nightwings, damnation to the scribes. The invocation of Islak, your adversary, which you ruled us, the curse shall summon forth dark pools of banishing ichor whenever any exile is banished ere this night. Oh my goodness!
The withdrawn have proved.
Alright.
The Nightwings made them work for it a bit. Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus the scribes have chosen.
Maybe that's what it means to be a true Nightwing. Maybe being a true Nightwing means just absolving everybody else around you. Forgiveness is the key aspect of being a true Nightwing. To truly forgive your adversaries, let them move onwards. And maybe that's why Orlek failed. Maybe Orlek failed because he didn't understand the concept of forgiveness. I'm sorry. We did what we could, my friends. Couldn't ask for more. As promised, Islak, thy will shall be fulfilled. Thy hunger sated. This land in which the scribes bound thee and thy imprisonment gave us strength, which we shall use in service of thy will. Thy patience with us, thy forgiveness, give thanks. As for them, the Jubilee slowly turns towards all of those who witness of our victory. He who stood against us, know that Islak shall not forgive, nor shall we now return to the lands above, to sow fruit into which he keeps. Thy fields above shall be thought us mad. Their time, of course, shall come. With that, the witched Milda plunges into the waters of the shower pool and disappears. Yet still, her dry voice reverberates across the mountaintop.
Godspeed, Milda. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may yet continue for a while. The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours.
Back at the Black Wagon, after the outcome of the liberation right against the withdrawn. An unfortunate result. I'm to bed, so just the same for all of you. Although you did not succeed in liberating Headwind, there is some consolation. The ride shall continue, and before long you shall have another chance. Then Volford asked the group to gather, since you know what news he is about to share. Everyone, I must apologize to bring such news at this late hour, but I felt that you all would wish to know as much as possible. The context of our plan has changed. Yeah, I did lose, but like I was saying, I guess you were still getting lunch for this. I think being a Nightwing, being a true Nightwing, is that we're not supposed to win. We're supposed to let the others make amends. We're supposed to grant forgiveness. I think that's what it is to be a true Nightwing, and I think that's why Orlek failed. That's why he's come back as a true Nightwing. And in the end, I mean, you have the option to forgive him anyway. So I think it adds up, and it's part of the reason why the Nightwings are always the ones who have to be at the right. because we're the ones who have to grant forgiveness. We're the ones who have to grant absolution. And I understand it sounds like I'm just making excuses, but I think there's a reason why being a true Nightwing is why it's on the hardest difficulty, why you have to live with the consequences. Because you have to live with the consequences. These people are the ones who have to grant absolution. You're the ones who have to live with the consequences of forgiving these people. That's what forgiveness is about. But they do deserve absolution. That's what the rites are about. We're giving them a chance to be absolved of their past transgressions and to hopefully learn from their mistakes. If they don't learn from their mistakes, that's their problem. But I don't care that they haven't learned anything, because that's what forgiveness is about. Forgiveness is about forgiving a person wholeheartedly. I'm not a religious person, but it goes back to what's said in the Bible. Peter said to Jesus, "How many times shall I forgive my brother?" And Jesus said you should forgive him 70 times 7 times, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what's going on in their minds, and you have to forgive. And yeah, it seems like they haven't become enlightened, but like Volfred said, the path to enlightenment and the path to freedom are one and the same. In order for you to become free, you must become enlightened. How that enlightenment takes form varies from person to person. In order for them to come to the rites in the first place, they must have enlightenment. That's what Volfred said. Volfred said in order for you to reach the rites, you have to become enlightened. Only the most enlightened can earn their freedom. So, it's up to me now, as a true Nightwing, to grant them their freedoms. To grant them absolution, to grant them forgiveness. To grant them unconditional forgiveness. That's my take on it, at least. He looks about at everyone before revealing to them what the stars have revealed to you both. The stars above are disappearing. They seem to be just fading away one by one, but for some reasons, the scribes alone may know for certain, though we all may harbor our suspicions. No, you don't have to fill your enlightened mark to make it to freedom, but consider Hedwyn, for instance. He was the first person I wanted to free. His enlightenment bar wasn't all the way full, but it was full enough that the scribes deemed him eligible for freedom. For the witch Udmilda to come forward means that the scribes deemed her worthy. The scribes deemed her enlightened enough to do the trial. Even though it may not be as maximum enlightenment, like say Volfred at the end of the game, where his inspiration has given him full enlightenment for all intents and purposes. The scribes decide who's worthy and who isn't at the end of the day. Sure, the scribes are fate. The scribes may not be there because the stars are fading, but whatever mechanisms they have in place to decide it are there still, and I think they do. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the person's beliefs are. I think the beliefs have to still be there because it's in character. Being a follower of Islok is part of who Udmilda is. If we don't get to witness her change, her suddenly being enlightened, doesn't make sense to us as a reader, as a viewer, as a player. So they have to maintain that because it's part of their characters. And and I think it makes the forgiveness that much more necessary. That we have to show them the kindness of forgiveness. See for yourself if you have any doubt that this is so. A hush falls over the companions, all exhausted from the rite, and now stunned into silence. If this phenomenon continues unabated, and we have every reason to believe it shall, then the rite shall cease when the stars no longer shine. Permanently cease, that is. The companions exchange glances. You sense negative emotions rising. Confusion. Fear. Before I gave you the impression that, should the Nightwings not prevail in a liberation rite, there would be other chances. This remains so, however, our chances now are numbered. The exact number I have yet to ascertain, but
To be frank, there are more of us than we have chances left. You sense your fellow exiles are beginning to realize what this means. I know this must be difficult to hear, but it is not to be cause for panic. Our plan remains essentially unchanged. We shall take which opportunities arise, and return as many as we can. I urge you all to take whatever time you need to think this through. At dawn we shall head south again to Moonlight Alcove. We can discuss this further then. Now please, get some rest. Our path grows harder, though not insurmountable. Not while we stand together, we can still prevail. The group disperses. Some whisper in hushed tones, others turn to their quarters, speechless. There will be time later to better understand this omen. Alright, so, with the autosave, let's take a break here. Like I said, I'm feeling a bit tired of playing Pyre. So tomorrow I may play some Bastion. Yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to play some Bastion. We'll try a new game plus mode on that. I've touched on it a bit. It's a bit easier because it's not like Pyre where I lose and then I have to continue playing and it's just sadness. With Bastion, because it's more story based, I do have to follow the narrative instead of me deciding the narrative based on my wins and losses. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to play a game and not cry every 2 minutes, especially when I've disappointed Portizo. So, yeah, let's take a break here, and we'll be